Hello, friends. Are we here? Let me mute this. Oh, gotta turn off my alarm. Close. How are you, my friends? It is March 4th. It's my daughter's birthday. I get to see her and her brother tomorrow for lunch, so I'm really excited about that. There's a lot of stuff going on. Yes, there is. We've been eclipsed. We've been Saturn-Neptune. We've been Pluto returned. We've been so many things, and it's Mercury retrograde. And what is happening right now, and we're so engulfed in it, it's like it's very hard to see. But beyond Mercury retrograde, where everything seems backwards, fuzzy, hazy, unclear, just having a hard time thinking clearly, expressing yourself clearly, having snafus happen, electronics going haywire, and then you have this aholio in the White House acting the way he is, with the Congress acting the way they are. So yes, it is a very confusing, difficult time, but we're also standing on the precipice of a brand new world. It's like I always go back to 2020, kind of read all that stuff that happened that year. There were like 10 major things, and each of those things don't happen for like thousands of years by themselves anyway. And so that kind of flattened everything, like having a new platform, so to speak. But it's like all these other planets that are moving slowly, well, they are also changing into a new platform. So we got all of that going on. But it's like we are in this hazy space, and we're not even going to be able to see things more clearly, not until that first day of spring when Mercury goes direct. But Mercury will still be in Pisces, where it's weakest, and still there will be a couple weeks into Aries season where that's when we're going to start feeling this fog and haze lift. But there's something very beautiful happening at the same time. It's a lot of things for the body have to deal with. And so today what I'm going to do is I am going to talk about these big transits and try to show you, make sense of what's been going on here. These are my basic notes of what we're doing tonight. But this is big picture stuff that is meeting right now in eclipse energy. So we're going to talk about the big stuff. But then I want to talk about the more specific, granular stuff that has to do with you as the individual and what this means going forward and ways to cope during this uncertain time. And I'll tell you guys, I know there's a lot of news happening. I just had to pull myself out of that because I'm like, I am not going to disrupt these beautiful eclipse energies because I got to just let my body have as easy enough of a time as it can. But because there's so much stress out there. And then you think, today's Wednesday, right? Yes. It's like you can't even think about what's happening the day before that, much less last week, etc., etc. So even though it's important to know these things, don't hang on to them, and don't hang on to them and hold them so fearfully like these things are absolute, because they are not. There's a lot of flux and change going on right now. Okay, why am I not coming up here, you guys? Am I here? Please tell me I'm here. Am I here? Huh. Uh-oh. I'm on a different live. What is going on? Open a new tab. What is... No, I changed this. Are you kidding me? Don't even tell me. Why is this doing this? You guys, let me change this title really quickly because, gosh, what do I do here? I said start a new scheduled thing. Hello, is this the epitome of Mercury retrograde? Just a minute. I want to edit this. I hope that you guys were able to hear what I was saying, but Just give me like 5 minutes. Holy cow. And today is March 4th. And you know what? I'm going to take this as... Okay, let me get to this place. I'm going to take this as, yes, the prior title to this word was the trifecta thing of the 3 things that happened on February 20th that were very consequential. That was the week before Don Julio decided to bomb Iran. It is interesting because if you go back to that week of February 20th and then you look at like the 23rd, 24th, all that stuff leading up to it, first we had SCOTUS say, you cannot use your tariffs. That was a massive blow to his entire strategy for campaigning, everything he's relied upon, stick a note in that, since 2023, okay? This was kind of like the preview for him of things crumbling coming into this eclipse, okay? So SCOTUS does that. He has his State of the Union. Hillary does her deposition. Something else happens on that Friday. I can't remember. But then it's like, here we are. He bombs Iran. And you could feel the crescendo of that week. Like, oh, I think he's going to. Well, you guys, I think that came out then because he was so pissed at what happened that SCOTUS hurt him that badly. Because if you want to think back to last October, was it last October, we had the No Kings March that was hugely successful. It hurt him deeply. What did he do 2 days later? He knocked down the east wing of the White House. So I feel like the energies of him acting out in this way are similar to what he did to the East Wing. It's kind of like, so what, I demolished the East Wing. So what, I did that to Iran. Someone's going to clean this up. He's so like detached from it on a level, everyone is scrambling to clean up. Okay, so I am sorry if you're just joining me. There was something wrong with obviously electronics with Mercury retrograde. Well, let me sum up and tell you what I'm doing tonight is we're going to go look at the big picture at everything that is happening, and we're going to bring it down to the fine granular stuff about you and taking care of yourself going forward, because this energy, I don't know if you guys can tell, is causing us to let go of a lot of things because it's really picking up from the lunar eclipse in Pisces last September 7th. It's like these eclipses are tag teaming one another, and they're forcing change and forcing action when things no longer want to change. And so we're at a much different place than we were just from September, just from February 20th. But know that this is what I'm planning to talk about today, and then we'll bring it down to the smaller details. Let me say hello to you guys. I'm sorry for the confusion. Hi, Marby. Yes, happy birthday. Hi, Just Joy, our Forest Friends. Hi, Antoinette's granddaughter. I'm glad you guys were able to find me. Yes. Hi, Sandy. Yes, it's nice to be here with everyone. Yay, Gretchen caught the start of Alive. Just Joy. Texas got rid of Chip Roy. Are you serious? Oh, and the pirate. Yeah, I saw that. Oh, boy. Caroline, hi there. I think you commented in the other chat, or in the notes that your daughter is in Dubai, correct? That's a little nerve-wracking. We're going to put ourselves and everyone else in a little cocoon here in a moment. I'm so happy about that news. And hi, Charlie C. Sage of Fire. Fuzzy May got stuck on the other link. I'm sorry. I am totally blaming Mercury retrograde on that. Hi, Paisley. And Electra. Make Mercury and haterade. I love that. Hello. Yes, I'm so happy to see you guys. Is there anybody else I'm not seeing? Yes, Carol, I am going to miss Jasmine Crockett, but there are good things coming her way as well. They were both excellent candidates, and she is not going away. Hi, Wendy Joy. Yeah, yes, we will talk about that. Okay. Okay, so hi Gail. So first, I love this little prayer from Brenda Atwater. So first, we're going to do this for ourselves. I surround myself in a seamless mirror cocoon to protect myself now, forevermore, and always. So be it, and it is done. So we've protected our energies. Now, your loved ones, if you can see that for them or whoever you want to put in their little cocoon, let's just project there for that person. I surround my favorite person in a seamless mirror cocoon to protect themselves now, forevermore, and always. So be it, it is done. And we can try to influence their energies in that regard. For energy attachments, because it just really feels like there's a lot of dark energy, psyop-y, weird stuff going on there. So we're going to say this 3 times. She says, say this for 3 times. I ask, and it is my intent to remove, release, and detach any and all energy or entities that are not from a highest and best good. So be it, it is done. I ask, and it is my intent to remove, release, and detach any and all energy or entities that are not from a highest and best good, so be it, it is done. I ask, and it is my intent to remove, release, and detach any and all energy or entities that are not from a highest and best good, so be it, it is done. And we'll close with, I surround myself in a seamless mirror cocoon to protect myself now, forevermore, and always, so be it, it is done. I don't know about you guys, but it's like I could feel stuff lifting off my back, like down to the heels, my heels, coming up my back, and just stuff kind of just lifting off. Like if you see bubbles underwater and they float to the top, that is definitely how that felt to me. How are you guys doing? Yes, and so it is. Okay. So last time we left off with your stag, trust and thrive. I loved this symbol going forward in these uncertain times because you have the stag. Someone said this is the color of the heart chakra, which I really loved. But being able to go forth, and you have this crown of antlers that are protecting and cutting through all this, the haze and stuff that is interfering with your crown chakra. So that is what we left with last time. Okay, so it is really super fascinating to see all that is unfolding. Like I said, last February 20th was such a pivotal day. In the last live, I talked about that because on that day we had the tariffs from SCOTUS. We had the Saturn-Neptune conjunction in Aries. And then in 2022, we had our first Pluto return. And so this is like the solar return. So on that day, the sun was 2 degrees Pisces. And even that ties into all of this. So the charts that I have, I'm just going to try I just want to show you what's going on because it's so big. And it's literally pulling in the entire world. But we're standing on the cusp of something new and what we're letting go. And this eclipse is so geared for letting go of stuff. So we're going to see where we were. So when I'm looking at this was our full moon in Pisces. Here's our Saturn-Neptune conjunction. This is our eclipse of totality last September. And then epic fury. And then the Saturn-Neptune conjunction of 1989. That one was also March 3rd, 1989. Yesterday, we had a total lunar eclipse, which was also March 3rd. So it's like that eclipse. If you felt it when you got up yesterday, you kind of felt that energy rushing in. You knew something was different. I know for myself, with the way this thing was kind of hanging out there, with Mercury at the helm, kind of managing it, because the moon is in Virgo, it's a lunar eclipse. That planet Mercury is guiding us through all this stuff. So it was like the 24 hours ahead of that, And then these 24 hours afterwards, you could just totally feel being in that weird, nebulous, kind of weird time, weird things, where you could feel like really the time and space was really distorted. And that was the eclipse. Since then, the moon went into Libra, and today it's, I think, maybe midday, it went into Libra, and it's like, you could really feel a sense with Libra being the sign of the scales that everything was coming into balance, that all that haze and confusion now was coming together and we're getting our footing. So while we have this moon here in Libra, that's what you need to be doing for the next couple days, is really getting your footing, where you stand, and not getting pulled one way or the other. Because also Libra has to do with the scales of justice. And yes, our legislators are making us crazy. But I love that with this lunar eclipse, we have found our balance, and Texas has a new candidate. The Democrats had a really good performance last night, and I like that with the idea of getting our balance and getting a sense of justice. And we've seen some people who are not going to be on the runoff list. Thank goodness. So we're kind of in this space of balance. When the moon goes into Scorpio, it's going to be pretty intense. It's going to be well supported with water signs. We're not going to feel as much intensity as we have. And we're going to feel more of that optimism and hope coming through, because Jupiter is also in a water sign. And Jupiter is really ready to make its mark. It's going to be barking at us, but it's going to be showing the light, of inspiration and optimism and goals, and all of us together, okay? Charlie, my moon and rising Virgo was exhausted. Exactly. And I'm glad you brought up that word exhausted, because right now, Mercury, being in Pisces, opposite Virgo, retrograde, she's combust, she's weak. So Mercury is aligned with the sun right now. We can't see Mercury. And because it's so close to the suns, it is combust. And this is the thing that literally you feel exhausted. Your nerves are frayed. You just don't have any energy. So that's the other thing you have to be keeping track of right now, getting your balance and watching what is burning you out. Because this Mercury retrograde, I know it can be disruptive, but Mercury is sleeping. It can't do its job. So when you look at these things that are frustrating you, or details that aren't working through, there's something in there that is wanting to be cleaned up, because we're kind of in this big flush of energies before we go to spring. So it's just merely highlighting the mercurial things that are weak in your energy field. And it's like it's time to clean up and tidy up those loose ends, because we don't want to take that with us as Mercury goes forward. And if you're feeling exhausted and frayed, it's your body is begging for more time of solitude, more time of meditation, the arts, poetry, music, that creative side of you where the ideas can get lost in reading or get lost in philosophy. That is what's really conducive right now for the body. And also, Virgo is the one that has to do with your daily activities and self-care, is asking you to tidy up and purge things, okay? I thought I was going to talk about this later, but anyway, I'm just going to go where we go, okay? Steve, too tired to sleep. Okay, Virgos also don't nap well. They hate napping. They just don't do it well. They had a good performance in Arkansas, yeah. Mindy feels totally burnt out right now. Yeah, Mindy, time to, get your balance, because this is heading off so many more things than just a Mercury retrograde. It is hitting stuff off since 1989. Yeah, no caffeine could help. Oh, you can Virgo. You're a Virgo and you can nap whenever you can. That I have a Virgo moon. I cannot. I just push myself, and when I finally nap, there's a good reason. Okay, so here are some things I want to talk about. First of all, when you see, the decision to do Epic Fury and the eclipses, it pulls in Israel and Iran charts. It's like it was written. So back in 1989, we had a Saturn-Neptune conjunction, and it was in the sign of Capricorn. In the United States, this is in the 11th house of like your friends, your hopes, wishes, dreams. But it is also about your networks. And being in Capricorn, those are kind of like related to government networks, smaller networks of people, smaller networks who kind of can conceal things, and things aren't always what they appear. And I just find it very interesting that this 1989 to this point, you have Uranus leading, so you've got some innovative things going on with electronics and government. We have Neptune looking at the inspiration or the illusion, and looking at religion and extremists, and we're talking about groups of people here. We have Saturn that has to do with structures. And then behind that is the moon. The moon is the mood, but it also represents the people. So it's like all these things are like falling onto the people. The moon just went through all this stuff, and Capricorn can be isolating. It can be cold. It can you can really feel like you're cut off of things. And so it's right away, it's like this tone tells me something about elite groups of people in government concealing what they're actually doing, and there's going to be some innovative things, and they're just going to drag we the people along with it. And it is interesting also to me that day, let's see, we'll go here. In 1989, this is the year that Khomeini was installed, the current Ayatollah. Am I saying this correctly? So that's when he was installed. You have the chart here for the Islamic Republic of Iran, which is 1979. There's a lot to look at here. And then we have Israel's chart for 1948, and Don Holio is all over this chart. But this is the Saturn-Neptune from 1989. And Saturn-Neptune, it always kind of involves with smaller groups. Let's see, I wrote this down. It deals with secretive groups, conspiracies, and cover-ups. But the thing is, what happens in the end is there's always exposure to them. There is suppressed information. So we are looking at what's coming forth right now, especially with the EPSI files, is related to this Saturn-Neptune conjunction that got started in 1989. This is around the time that EPSI is now trading, I think, for Bear Stearns, and he's really kind of taking off with his stuff because we've had the Iran-Contra affairs. And there's a weird link, I don't know exactly, but it seems like whatever happened with those hearings, it's like that benefited him and he took off, okay, with that. So it's like, and this is also, this also coincided with the eclipses that we had last year. I think last fall I talked about that, which I said was tagging the financial collapse of 2007, 2008. So that is when he was really heavily into trading, and now he's expanded, and now he is, I think, getting ready to, well, he said he represented the Rothschilds, and he was actually Putin's financial dude. So it's like this eclipse setting things into in motion, but it's the nature of Saturn-Neptune. You can't cloak this stuff forever. It's going to come out. And this has been a theme, for the ages. I mean, one of the astrologers, he traced what's going on with Puerto Rico going back to the time of Columbus discovering America. So there's kind of like this purpose, but then there's kind of this confusion, this Neptunian aspect of it where it's not quite there yet. It takes time to evolve, which kind of coincides with him wanting to look for a new route to the new world, but he didn't end up where he thought he was ending up, and he wanted to establish trade. And I believe the day that he landed, maybe in Puerto Rico, it was the day of like an exact Saturn-Neptune conjunction. And how we see that playing out now is at the Saturn-Neptune conjunction now with Puerto Rico, we had Bad Bunny at the Super Bowl. 30 years prior to that, they wrote a declaration in the 50s to the United States about what their sovereignty was. And before that, in 1919, had to do with becoming citizens of the United States. So it's like there's this structure of who you are and where you're going, but then there's this Neptunian aspect that's kind of full of some deceit and confusion. And you see these things, they're all playing out right now. It is just really interesting. Let's see. Virgo, Mercury, 7th house does not like the absent Leo sun always. Okay. So this chart over Washington, D.C., this is 1989. It is very interesting to me because I think last time or the time before, I talked about this 22 degrees Aquarius that I was finding in the United States chart is absolutely associated with assassinations. And so on this chart from the Saturn-Neptune 1989, the rising sign in Washington, D.C., it's Aquarius 21. We've got Mercury there hidden where you can't see what's going on. That Aquarius 22 shows up again. Where is it showing up? Look at this. Israel's chart. How about that? Aquarius 22 being the assassination degree. Look at this. Israel's chart. Their dark moon Lilith. That's where the moon is farthest from the earth. It looks teeny in the sky. I always say this is related to like abandonment. It shows when Putz abandoned his military in Ukraine. Here we have at the degree of assassination is abandonment. Dark moon Lilith, people, and because it's beneath the horizon, it's like this is secret stuff that you're doing in defense of your country, but nobody is supposed to do that. And it lines up with the ascendant in Washington, D.C. It also showed up somewhere else, but I am not going to hunt for that. Okay, so that is that. I'll tell you in Israel's chart, at the top of the chart, the midheaven, what they're known for is Donald Saturn. His structure, his building, his it's like this is the block from everything related to his money. But it's like he's the structure. This is what they're aspiring to, is his leadership. Over here in the Israeli chart, on the descendant is Aries 23. So that's like your opponent. At our Saturn-Neptune conjunction on the 20th, we have Chiron, the wound that needs to be healed. So it's like you have an alliance or an opposition with someone that has to be healed. And that is also coming to play. The Saturn-Neptune in 1989, at the very top of the chart in Washington degrees, it is 6 degrees, 57 minutes. I'm like, where did I see that before? Well, at the lunar eclipse last September, that's the rising sign of this eclipse last September. So it's like the 6 degree Sagittarius is what's fueling the decisions being made last September by this administration. It is something overseas. It is something related to law and law enforcement. But this is what's really energized the change from what we have been doing as a nation to something different. And that moon was at 14 degrees Pisces. And again, it's concealed down here. So this is a big shift that is taking place. And it matches the 1989 Saturn-Neptune, this thing with small groups in charge of government. Does that make sense? Okay, I'm starting to get lost in this. I wanted to show you how these connected really well. I want to show you that, okay, let's pick up from this eclipse. Where's that lunar eclipse? From that lunar eclipse, when things shifted, look at what we have down here in our second house, our substance, who we are, what we value. You've got Pluto here. It's destructive. It concentrates things. It is retrograde. So it's like revisiting something from the past. So we've got this notion to move overseas. We're doing something with the law or secret groups because of this. So Pluto is 1 degrees Aquarius. When we strike Tehran, the top of that chart, come on, is 1 degrees Aquarius. I mean, that was on the 28th. We had a total lunar eclipse 5 days later, but we were in eclipse season because we had a new moon solar eclipse in Aquarius. So Aquarius was really charged. And look at what that heads off for the moment epic fury commences. Okay? There's a lot of shifting and moving. He's giving a speech. Ugh, I just don't like that guy. Going back to this assassination degree, remember the Saturn-Neptune in 1989, the ascendant in the U.S. was 21 degrees Aquarius, and in Israel, their dark moon Lilith, the assassination degree, is here at 22 degrees Aquarius, and the Saturn-Neptune conjunction now at 22 degrees Aquarius, we've got Mars. Mars is explosive. Mars, that is an attack. So absolutely, you can consider assassinations. I just feel like we're going to be seeing a lot more of this stuff. Those leapt out at me. So these are all intertwined. So we had this full moon lunar eclipse yesterday. We've been feeling kind of like the hazy cloudiness about it. That moon, the eclipse happened in the western horizon, like the moon was setting in the west and it was turning red, and it was covering basically like the Pacific. Even though it did cover and we could see here and the West Coast, it was mostly occurring basically on the Pacific. So the moon is eclipsed. The moon is people, it's the mood, and it's like the relationship between the West and the East. It's like this eclipse on the 3rd really exposed who we are and who they are and what is being forced to change in our relationship. Now, the lunar eclipse, absolutely tagged the 1989 Saturn-Neptune conjunction. Again, that is like when all these secret groups and cover-ups really got a stranglehold on that energy and really started leaving we the people out. Well, that energy is what's feeding this lunar eclipse that we had yesterday. And we had elections. And it's like the people are saying, no more. You cannot do that to us anymore. The foundation of this I find very interesting is 19 degrees Gemini. That's the north node from January 6th. So there's been a change. It's like this guy is trying to carry off what he's always been doing since 1989 with small groups. That's what energizes him. And the secret is he doesn't want you to know that he's been planning this since before 2020, and he used these resources and groups to carry out January 6th. This is the thing that is being set up. Now, I don't think Donald is going to be successful because who goes to war under Mercury retrograde and is successful? Who signs a tariff when Mercury and Venus are retrograde? Don Julio does, and what happens? It falls apart in eclipse season because Mercury just can't stand up to these things. And Mercury is his ruling planet. Does it make sense? Jared and BB are getting 45 to do this. Absolutely. They absolutely know how to manipulate him. They have been making a lot of plans since last fall. But here's the thing. It is going to fall apart. It is totally going to fall apart. And I'm going to show you why. And we will grab cards in that regard. So it's like there's all these structures now that are coming apart because it's like they're rewriting those old platforms that these guys were so successful with. You know what? I should probably leave that there. I mean, if you think about it, basically everything Don Julio has been doing since March of 2023, it's like that balloon has gotten popped because March 2023 is when Saturn went into Pisces. And Neptune was already there in Pisces since 2012. So Pisces, again, this is where things get hazy. This is where it's illusionment or disillusionment. It's inspiration or it's the opposite. It deals with religions, it deals with peace, it deals with addictions, it deals with hospitals, it deals with jails. But the thing is how everything is cloaked. And so he's been really successful with his plan. It got him into the Oval Office. He lied about everything in the campaign, from immigration to tariffs to going to war, blah, 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 blah. He just said what he could say to get what he wanted. And so this has been very successful for him. It plays a big part, I think, in Israel's chart. Oh, the Saturn-Neptune conjunction of 1989. For him, this has to do with your opposition and your partner. So it's like, I can just lie, do whatever, blah, blah, blah. This is where he's been able to keep a grip on us. But since then, we've got these eclipses, and all of a sudden, that stuff is not going to hold because now Saturn is Aries. In Aries, so is Neptune in Aries. And being in a fire sign now, it burns off all the fog from that whole time in Pisces. And the planets that are in Pisces, like the Sun and Mercury, I think Venus is still there. It's like finally they get to do their job without these restrictions and without this confusion. This is another reason why we're not going to hold so tightly onto things that are happening around us and what we believe is true. Because Mercury retrograde, by its own nature, I always say what you think is real is not really real, because what's happening, it's getting flushed through the system before you move on. And that's not just you. That's not just your community or your state and our nation. This is the whole world is on this new platform. Like, what is going on? All these world leaders are having a massive shift mentally for themselves because they've never been in this position. Donald has never been in this position. But what this yields then is the spiritual warrior and martyrs and, fighting for what the hill that you will die in. And there will be more people who will pass. There will be people who were built for this moment and are feeling the call to go forth into something that like maybe we've never ever seen in them before. But that's part of the future. And to get to that future, it's like now we have Sun, Mercury, Venus. Oh, and Mars. And Mars, I like Mars and Pisces. They're all here without these guys. So it's like they can genuinely do their work. I've always liked Mars and Pisces because to me, it has a real defensive part of it, that it is protecting this sacred work over here. It is energizing your immune system. And I just really like that all these planets can do their own thing. So whereas, let's see, where we were inhibited, this is where we were inhibited. And this is how this now is going forward. Oh my gosh, I have no idea what's going to come. Okay, I need some context. What is the biggest thing? The biggest thing activating what was inhibiting us as a people, our nation. The biggest inhibitor block with Saturn, Neptune here since, the destiny. The biggest inhibitor was our opponent, and the biggest inhibitor were our partners, leading to a lot of isolation, okay? Because the power and what's going on is contingent on that partner that is gaslighting us and confusing everyone. And going forward, what does it mean for our new growth? What is it? Oh, it's this one. Fifth house creativity. Going forward now, what's at issue is our joy, our creative inspiration, why we're here, if you want to think of the sun, but it's also how I've been using is the office of the President of the United States. So whereas he's been inhibiting us, going forward, it's like we're right there up in your face, okay? I want to get some cards. Okay, so this is the Don Julio deck. This was from his first term. So this deck has definitely been cured. It has extra cards in this deck because it was a centennial edition. It has extra artwork. So I get these extra cards in there that I use. So this is what I am looking at inhibition. How this worked to inhibit the people, what he was doing. This is what that structure gave him so much success in doing. It helped him do this against us. It helped him to do what else? Against us. Against us. That is gone. And it affects him like this. And this is where it's problematic now for him. Oh, that's like I could do a whole bunch of challenges. And really problematic here. The justice, the scales of justice. Oh my gosh, this is also tipping everything into his favor. These are his quid pro quos, doing favors for other people. Pay me enough. I'll do it for you. I'm going to change the law. I'm going to change how things do it because I am the law. And he was getting justice for what he wants by putting us in this gaslighting nightmare, by getting rid of people, by locking people up and having the upper hand. And he did that with his Six Wands mob buddies, the tyrants around the world. So this is, when he had that structure, we have the Judgment card, we have the Two of Cups, and we have, this card is other, So these cards. So it's like he was able to judge everybody to favor him. He could, that is the power he had on us. He had his people who would have private agreements with them. He had Americans that would help him out, get this off the ground. And then he had money coming into Washington, D.C. He had other nations and other people coming in to gain power over the three branches of government. So that's what he's been able to do with this structure. But Saturn-Neptune has left. And now he thinks he's carrying this stuff on. I'm going to bomb Iran. I'm going to bomb Venezuela. I'm going to go on to Ecuador and maybe Cuba. But what? But what? What stands in the way? But this, the moon card. So things that have been going on for a long time around the world, his terror around the world. But we've been eclipsed. But things have changed. No, because this involves all the nations. This involves the whole world and how we've been operating. It's like a new operating system. But the Hermit reversed, how he was able to surveil everyone. Everyone around the world was able to surveil each other. We're running into a problem because now Iran is working with China. They have so much technology that we're finding out is coming out that can be used against him. We have people fighting DOJ justice and what they're doing, picking up people, deporting people. There's a big problem here. And I get the Republican Party on this. But pause. So it's like we, the people, get a breath of fresh air in how this office is held and what he's doing. There's no longer this block. It's like we own this. So the problem Don Julio is having, strength. Yeah, his position of strength. It's like we are as strong. The things he's relied on to make him strong, it's all coming out. Seven of Pentacles. His challenge, the stockpiles, everything he was relying upon with people, the way he was going to take stuff and change things to do what he wanted and his values. But also stockpiles of weapons are becoming a problem, and people wanting to use that with American strength, the challenge, the death. There are endings. This stuff is coming to a halt. So this is his challenge. We, the people, are in his face about these things, and we're able to go on offense with this. He also has a problem with the star doing what he wants to do, and himself being the star. Are there nukes on this? I am getting nuclear energy bombing. This is the challenge. I've been worried lately because he always ups his tantrum from, tearing down the East Wing. Now we're going to attack Iran. Well, what's the next thing? This feels like it is surrounded and like he cannot access this. This is also okay. What's happening here? Why is he wants to do this? Let's put that out there. Yes, the Ace of Wands, he wants to strike. What is this black? This black, it's like it's there. He wants to do it, but it can't go through. Why can't it go through? Why can't it go through? Whoops. Why can't it go through? Okay, this feels very rigid, very secure. Like this is like a line of defense. You can't cross. Whoever's been in the background that he could not see, this is coming forth. He is blocked. He is blocked. We have the World card, the Four of Cups, the Magician, the Ten of Cups. Coming full circle. Full circle. His plan is coming full circle. People believe his plan is coming full circle. The Four of Cups, it's time. It's time. The Four of Cups, the Magician. I am just getting, there is something out there. I don't know what it is, but it's like it's time to do the magic. We have everybody on our side. I don't know. This is something I cannot see. You guys still with me? Electra, when will baby lose already? Well, we're in eclipse season. We have a lot of things that are shifting. That chart, he is exposed for what he's done. Let's look at the Israel chart. Remember, we're going to the Mars-Uranus conjunction on July 4th. It is going to be explosive, and I'm not just talking fireworks. It is like this energy right now, the way the Saturn-Neptune is playing out very much has a flavor of the French Revolution. This aspect, Saturn-Neptune, I don't know what year it was, but this is really a pivot point for the French Revolution. Let the people eat cake, and all the people are like, forget this, man. We're done with this. That is kind of the energy signature we're having with the Saturn-Neptune, because what happened, what came out, the cover-ups going on since 1989, well, the emails are coming out. The documents are coming out. People are horrified, and there's enough of us from all sorts of backgrounds that are coming together. I have always said, in order to get rid of him, Don Julio, everybody has to feel the pain. Even the most loyal of loyalists, it's like nothing's going to happen until the Republicans are on our side, until the MAGA is on our side. And guess what? MAGA is having some crises and issues. So even though I know you guys don't like MAGA, you just got to hold the light for them to see, hold the note for them to see the light. If you're going to pray on something, pray that they make a decision. They don't want that, because they, clear as day, last year at the lunar eclipse, they were still in the beliefs that this is okay to like take people, blah, blah, blah. There was some rumbling about, well, I don't like taking, good people. Why aren't we taking the bad people? Well, anyway, that has come full circle. It has flopped. So if there's anywhere that you could merge to help shine the light and unify, we want them come on board. And we want them to be louder than us. Please be louder than us, because we've been dealing with this since 2016. I can't even imagine how it would totally blow my mind to have to, on a dime, spin. You want those Epstein files because you're going to take down the Democrats. And it's like, holy shite. No, they were right. It was him. I can't even imagine what a mind F that is, to come to that realization. And now there are groups of them who are very afraid for their country. Well, be loud about it. It's your turn to take this guy down. So if you could magnify something, that would be it. But, and the Saturn-Neptune thing, I know I'm talking about 1989, but when you start tracing back, because we had our Pluto return and the plutocrats, the plutocrats, it was also time for them to start coming down. That was like 2000 and then 2020. But then we find out about the Rothschilds. They've been around since the 1500s, 1600s. So it's like even that oldest structure is coming to light. It was coming to light kind of over there. But then the Russians got involved in the UK, blah, 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 so much Russian money. So it's like they can't cover this stuff up anymore. And it's like even the structures that have held things together with those elite few, that is coming apart. I mean, think about how many hundreds of, at least 500 years worth of stuff is also coming to a head. Okay, who am I looking for? Israel. So, if what ISR, their highest goal, their highest achievement is 25 degrees Cancer, that is Donald and what he brings to the table and how he's going to plant them firmly in the ground and their highest aspirations. But it's not going to go like that because everyone is seeing how weak Don Julio was in making his decision and listening to other people. We now have Pluto right now is 4 degrees Aquarius. Isn't that interesting? Their chart, the moon is 4 degrees Leo. So it's like the leadership, the ideals, the power, being so hard-nosed. There's kind of like a flavor of like Hollywood here too, in a certain extent. But I'm getting toxic masculinism there too. But Pluto is 4 degrees Aquarius. When Pluto touches things, they are forever changed. That moon is getting forever changed. Oh my gosh, when the nodes go into Aquarius and Leo, I think is it this summer, that is going to be a game changer. So I just don't seeing ISR being able to hang on like they have been with Don Julio because there's a massive fracture and schism coming here. It is huge. It is absolutely huge. And the people, they're just enough. You can't hurt us anymore. Look at that lightning bolt. I didn't see the lightning bolt. 45 asked Ukraine for help with. He is ridiculous. And no wonder he's always been so mad at Ukraine and doesn't want to arm them because he wants to use the weapons, but it's a shortcoming there. So that is kind of for Don Julio's action and keeping us at bay. Now let's look at us, we the people, and our journey from being so oppressed. We're looking that's how the Saturn-Neptune has been functioning for we the people since definitely 2023, but it has its roots in 2012 when Neptune went into Pisces. Don Julio has thrived with this energy in taking down his opponents, manipulating his opponents, and gaslighting them. And so, we the people, where are we the people? This is where things change. Look at that. We're at the 5 of Wands. We're in the middle of this fight with this a-hole. This is how things start off. And it's time to move up the ladder. We're not going to stay stuck at this 5. I mean, if you think of that 5 of Wands, people really being at odds with each other. Look at this information war and propaganda we've had to deal with. They've kept us stuck at a 5 of Wands, unable to move all this time. But this Saturn, Neptune into Aries and these eclipses have revolutionized that. We are now free to move forward, and we've got the inspiration and the warrior within us to do that, because this right now is at the bottom of the United States chart, at the very bottom, and how we the people protect home. We realize we better wake up and know who we are and where we come from and where we're going, and that Saturn Neptune absolutely is a game changer in that we're not going to be confused and not know. Okay, so we have been, suppressed for so long. This was us suppressed so long with that transit. This is us suppressed for so long. And this is like in the skies above us, like, and it's like we cannot even reach for that. But something broke. Look at that. What broke? The 10th house. We see what's going on. You can no longer pull the veil over our eyes. We see, and the fog is burning off, and we see exactly who's involved here. Don Julio and this nation. Jeez. And because of we see that, what do we do? What do we see? We see this. And going forward with this, we're able to do this. Okay, I'll get it. This. Okay, I'll get it. And the new and the way we accomplish that feat with Don Julio in office. The fourth house roots. We know where we came. Everything I just said, protect home. We know where we came from. This is what's changed. We know who we are. We know how to protect one another. You guys, did you see when I picked this up? I saw that, oh, the fourth house roots was under here. And that's why I cut the deck and shuffled some cards. And it still came up. So, so we were hamstrung. Then under the suffocating, debilitating aspect that's since left, but while it was in Neptune, the Six of Cups, the past, talking about morality in the past. The Six of Cups, getting to our kids in so many more ways. It's the gaslighting, and it is taking kids. It is taking our youth and our innocence. Challenge. The King of Pentacles, we were challenged by a system that was taxation and money that was not working for us. We were inhibited by the Hermit reversed. I just got these two in a combination. What? You guys, I just had this. The Seven of Pentacles, the Hermit, and the Death card all at once. Do you guys remember that? Oh, I am going to have to go look for that. This is crazy. So this is really how we were inhibited. Beings are failed upon, micro-targeted data information, killing off our dream, ending our influence. It's like there's an outsider coming in. The Seven of Pentacles challenge, we can't invest in ourselves. It's like we have no say. We just have these little crumbs, and something wants to end us. Can you guys believe that? Oh boy, I am way far. Where are you guys? Ron just also found a very large deposit of rare earth metals needed for electric batteries, etc. I heard that we have like the biggest reserve they found out. Is it under Yellowstone? Like we have a massive, is it lithium they're looking for? That was, Libby got nukes too. Yep. Look at the light. I need to look at that lightning bolt again. Bibbs looks like he's dying too. He's lost his way. Maybe it's just... Can you believe these guys? They're old. We're done with them. Okay, so this is what we were stuck in. The game changer is all this stuff coming to light. We're in eclipse season. Everything has been changed, but nobody realizes it. And the thing is with the Saturn, Neptune, and Mercury in Pisces, it's like everything is around us, and the solution might be right in front of us, and we can't see it. That's the drawback with Mercury retrograde in Pisces, okay? So during this time, it's about finding your balance and cleaning up those details, those things that just are weak and not working anymore, okay? But anyway, so we see what's going on, and we judge you. Don Julio was judging us, but it's like it's been changed. What am I looking for? It's like now we have the judgment to decide what's going on here. And I curse you. I curse the day you were born on. So this is the game changer for us. And what we're able to do going against him and what we're able to accomplish now, the Lovers, we have the Three of Wands. We have the Seven of Wands. We have the Ace of Cups. So what this is saying to me, what we're able to do now is to see who you were in bed with. We're going to be able to trace all these parts and all these pieces on a global level. And we're going to work really hard. We are going to get the upper hand against you because this is what it matters for us as Americans, the Ace of Cups in the fourth house, protecting home. Wow. Wow. How are you guys doing? Swim Fast Alley. They are testing hooking up mushrooms to computers to eliminate the need for rare earth metals. It seems to be working on a small scale. That sounds very interesting. I had a thought today, and I had posted it on, I think, Blue Sky. I am really trying to manage my time with that and what I see. But anyway, this might seem like a silly question, but it's something in the back of my mind all day today. I'm like, why can't they build those data centers underground? Is that too much to ask for? Because, I mean, it's cooler underground. You can store that heat that they give off, you know, like for natural gas, to like warm towns and cities. I'm sure you could use that heat to fire up some sort of electrical source. You know, and then if it was underground, it's like we have more green spaces and we don't have all that noise. So that's what I want to know. Why can't we do these things underground? Because it kind of seems like we need them. And also, I mean, hello, talk about a huge point of vulnerability. If someone decides to take their drones somehow, missiles, they're going to go for the data centers to mess that stuff up. I don't know if these people realize what a bad idea it is on so many levels to have these things above ground. And I just dropped all my cards. Same reasons they don't put power lines underground. They don't want to spend the money, right? I know. My little neighborhood, it's like the older part of our town. No, our side is hillier. So our power lines are not underground. There's so many trees here. So whenever there's a storm, I've like never lived somewhere where we can so easily lose power. But the other side, they have all their stuff buried and they never lose their power. So, but it's just that areas of this little town has grown at different rates and at different times. It's just messed up here. I could go on and on. But anyway. Oh, Israel does that? They have them underground? Well, are we paying for that too? They have underground, or in Putin, Siberia. Yeah. Are they magic mushrooms? Okay. So, do you guys get it? We are at a different place. Do you get it that things are hazy and crazy and foggy, and that this is not going to make sense for a while, and the things that we think make sense? I'm telling you guys, we get a week, we get into spring, we're not even going to remember all this stuff. I mean, we can hardly remember things day to day. And I hope you realize that is why during this eclipse season, if you're just so gentle and tender on your body, because we're having this transit that happens every 36 years, and you don't want to pollute your platform. You really want to get your footing before we start digesting too much stuff that we cannot handle. And I really want my other notes. I thought I was going to talk about that more, but I didn't. How are you guys doing? You know, how are we for time? Oh, it's 9 o'clock. You know what? If you guys have questions, I'll answer your questions, but I'm going to wrap it up there. We have talked enough about this confusing stuff. But I would also like you to consider the idea, because the lunar eclipse was in Virgo, which has to do, you know, with your daily tasks. This lunar eclipse was conjunct the south node, so it's releasing stuff, getting rid of stuff. The best thing you can do for your environment is to purge that stuff, get rid of stuff, because when you get rid of stuff, you make space for the new. So if you're just really having this urge to get rid of things, just re-looking at, is this really valuable to me? Does this really need to be taking up the space here? Can it take up space somewhere? Do I really need this? It's just, this is a really good time to go within, prioritize your values, clean things up, and just reflect and be creative. Do your meditating, do your reading, just those things, those moments where you just want to get lost in stuff. This is the time to do it. This is not about deadlines and getting this done right here and getting all these things in order that feel unnatural to the system. This is about your own pace, figuring things out, and just kind of getting lost in thought and ideas. Okay? Oh, Cheryl, this has been the best feeling eclipse for me. A lot of happy, cleaning energy. I love that. You make me want to draw a card. Show me what this happy eclipse energy is. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You have not been eclipsed. These cards, what? What's going on with you? Wow, these cards feel amazing. They're like, we have new messages. The world is new. We're ready for spring. We're moving on. We're moving on. Move on with me. It just feels so independent and right. Okay, what is this happy eclipse energy? Aw, this is happy eclipse energy. Look at that. We have the Lovers and the Ten of Cups. Look at all that fulfillment and all that love. All that agreement. I love it. That is very lovely. I would say so too. Charlie, we are rolling right along. Thank you for all your time putting together this amazing info. I'm glad it was amazing for you. I'm afraid Nat has been painting. I loved it. I have been like kind of, because I love plants and flowers. So I've been like tending more to my plants and where they should be and kind of redesigning and thinking about. I really like doing things with artificial plants so that they look real, but they, provide a lot of nature in the house. That's what I'm kind of working on. Moving on up. Tell my law firm it's not about the deadline since I put in 14.9 hours of work yesterday. I need to tell them the Queen said so. Okay. How are we creatively going to get you? Okay, so the law firm, they're in Mercury retrograde too. They're going to be like, this isn't going to work out. We got to do something else. So you need to pare down, purge. What do you need to what are the details she needs to focus on? It's this one. One, two, what is this? The Six of Swords. Smoothing the waters. Three of Cups. Looking for success. This looks like a network you work with at the foundations. And then there's like another layer that's building out. And that's the thing that needs some help. The Six of Swords. And getting everyone kind of on the same page. And having that vision. There's some missing pieces that only you can see. But for the whole, that's going to help you in the long run. Does that make sense? Antoinette's granddaughter, I am in the great crafting clear out of 2026. Oh my gosh, can I come over and go shop at your clear out? Sure. My rising sign is Virgo. I'm feeling a lot of unconditional. Oh, that makes me so happy. Oh my gosh, this doll. She sounds pretty. Regina, when will we see the shift of power where they're out of power? Okay. A lot of things are going to be shifting as we get into spring. I don't know when the Aries new moon is right now but I believe Mars may be shifting into Aries then. There's going to be another stellium of planets in Aries. And I think by the time we get to that, Uranus is going to be in Gemini. Now remember, Uranus is still in Taurus. This fixed sign, this Scorpio, I'm like, get moving, get out of my fifth house. I've had enough. It's kind of keeping things pinned down. This is a money sign. This is a crypto sign. I don't know what's going on with that. I believe Uranus goes into Gemini for good in April. And that's going to be a game changer because that's where Uranus is in our USA chart. This Aries stellium is going to be rebuilding the foundation of our nation's chart and who we are. And Donald is on the wrong side. He has no power over this because this stuff is leaving the place where he's comfortable at gaslighting. We do have some planets still in Pisces, but like once those get out and we're in a new season, it's like he doesn't have anything to grab for. Our July 4th, God, that just feels like revolution, you guys. That feels like a totally different space. But he's falling apart. I mean, my gosh, it's like they're holding him together with Band-Aids. What? I mean, he's just bruised up and scaly and gross. It's just, he's like decomposing. I mean, I got to hand it to our medical professionals and professionals and what's going on in the White House, because I'm telling you, as a normal U.S. citizen that does not have access to the care, he would have been gone last summer. He would have been gone last summer. He would have been gone last summer, Two of Wands. He was that incapacitated. Yeah, he needed a lot of help. Yeah, it's just, he would have, his functioning would be so much like, I think he's getting that dementia medicine in his veins, okay? Aw. Swim Fast, thank you for walking us through all these big transitions. Yes, you're so welcome. That is my goal. To remember, these are transitions. These are like stepping stones, okay? Nothing is set in stone. We're just going to have eyes on the prize. We're not going to get hung up with the past, because the past is getting collectively chopped up. That window is closing. But as you look to the western horizon and anticipate all the good coming up this year, look at that, the Ace of Pentacles. It's a new foundation. It's a new start. It's a new beginning, and it's building new roots. We're getting to spring, okay? Yes, please don't forget to hit the like button. I really need that help. Oh, Fuzzy Me, I'm only just started, but I'm so excited about which is rare for me with creativity. This is your opportunity. Get out there and play, you guys. Cynthia, there's a time that the drugs won't work. The body can only take so. That's what I think, doesn't he? The body can only take so much. Where are we with that? The body can only take so much. Why do I have the Six of Wands? Oh, that's supposed to be reversed. Yeah. It's like his peak. He's hit his peak. His peak down Holio, his dreams, his visions of where he's going, he has hit his peak. And all those people around him are just like, wah, wah. Okay. Oh, you got 4 Beat to Hell dolls on Goodwill's eBay. I'm going to go to town. That sounds like fun. You're welcome, Just Joy. Yes, it's always refreshing to be in the forest with you guys. Your water lilies are getting their first leaves, and the crepe myrtle's blooming. Till we meet again. Okay, yes. Till we meet again. We'll talk to you later. Have a good one. We're going to be okay, you guys. Okay, bye.